Thanks for joining Mindful Journaling and Self-Care and Success session with Lynda Monk. I'm honored and thrilled to introduce you to Lynda Monk. She's the director of the International Association for Journal Writing and the co-author of Writing Alone Together, Journaling in a Circle of Women for Creativity, Compassion, and Connection, as well as co-author of Transformational Journaling for Coaches, Counselors, and Clients, a complete guide to the benefits of personal writing. And the forthcoming book, The Great Book of Journaling, which will be published in June 22. And she writers, speaks, and teaches about the transformational power of journaling. We are so grateful to have you here today and learn from you. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to Lynda. With that, I'll hand the floor to you.
Great. Thanks, Julian. I appreciate that. And welcome, everyone. I hope you're really enjoying the conference so far. And I'm really thrilled to have the next half hour together to share with you something I'm really passionate about. And Mia, I just want to check with you that you can see a single slide there. Can you just give me a yes? Okay, great. Thank you. Well, I'm going to dive in, and I hope you have a journal or a piece of paper and pen handy because we will be doing some journaling. But first, I want to just say a little bit about what to expect in this time together and start with showing you. Thank you for that introduction, Julian, a bit about the books I've written on journaling. I'm a registered social worker and life coach, and many of you may have passions in your life already that become central to the work that you will do in your life. I started journaling when I was younger than these guys here on the screen. These are my two sons, Jackson, who's 16, and Jesse, who's 15. And this is a photo of them this past weekend in suits. We went whale watching out off the coast of Tofino on the west coast of Canada. And we live on Salt Spring Island, which is between Vancouver and Victoria in Canada, just to give you a sense of where I am. And I was younger than them and all of you when I first started journaling. I was probably about 8 years old, and this is my first journal. Hopefully you could see me holding it up a little. It's like the size of a postage stamp. It has a pencil down the side. And this is my journal now. Similarly, pens down the side, only it's bigger. I guess I have more to say than when I was 8 and 9 when I first started journaling. But I mention this because often we're drawn to things in our childhood and in our teens that we may not know exactly how they are going to shape our careers and shape our happiness and the lives that we lead, how they shape how we become leaders. And we're all leaders to someone. We might be a formal leader in an organization or on students' council or some role you're already in, helping organize a conference. And of course, we're leaders to people who we influence. And that could be our friends, our family, and out in our communities. So I really invite each of you just to begin our time together by honoring the leader that you already are. And also by honoring some of your passions and interests, because you never know how they will become the thread of what you're doing for your work. I'm 52 now, and journaling, as I said, is something I started when I was about 8 or 9. And now I lead and run an organization called the International Association for Journal Writing. And I spend my days creating journal writing courses and facilitating worldwide journaling circles. And this thing that was a hobby became central to the work I do. So I invite you to think about what's kind of in your midst right now that may in fact be a thread that runs through the whole of your life, and you might not even know how just yet. So in our time together, I want to just share a little bit about what journaling is, and I want to spend most of our time giving you a chance to engage in it in a guided way. So one of the things that I think is so important about journaling, and some of you here may already be avid journal writers, maybe you're just curious about it, how it can be helpful to you, how it can be part of your mindfulness and well-being and success. Maybe you've journaled before during challenging times and then got away from it when things smoothed out. That can be a common experience for people. And wherever you're at with it, we always start in the moment. So whether we've been journaling for years or weeks, or it's our first time, we always arrive to the page in the here and now. And what I love most about journaling is that it really is something that can help us listen to our own inner voice. I think of it as this compass, this practice that helps us to listen within And we all know there can be so many distractions, so many things that pull us outward, social media and technology and voices and opinions from others, which are valuable to hear and learn from. But sometimes it can take us further and further away from what do we know? What do we think? What do we want? What do you want? And journaling is a way to come back into that quiet, still, wise voice that's always within you. And in that way, it's a chance to kind of unplug from the external, even briefly, so that you can really tune into your own self. And in that way, journaling is very empowering. Whatever you write is right. There's no way to get it wrong. You're always the expert of your own experience. And you strengthen your understanding of that each time you go to the page. I like to think of journaling as a constant companion. It's something in my life, and maybe in your life too so far, that you've been able to turn to. It's a place without judgment. It's a place where you can write whatever you want. You can write about the difficult stuff. You can write about your joys, your hopes, your dreams. And it's a place to really express your thoughts and feelings. And that's when journaling really becomes a powerful tool for mindfulness and success. It's when you can get your own thoughts and feelings down on the page. And in that way, it can be very cathartic. It can help you reduce stress. It can help you access feelings of calm inside and feeling centered and grounded and present. And that allows you to care for yourself, to really take that moment to say, here I am, I'm writing, this moment matters, what I think about, what I feel matters. And each time you journal, you're acknowledging that, which is very empowering and an important message to be able to give to yourself. And it brings you into the now. While we're here journaling, we're not out there, we're not in the past, we're right here in that powerful moment of the present. And that's when we can really learn and grow and be able to access what is important to us. People journal for lots of reasons. They can journal to record the events of their day, what they're doing, what's been a highlight in the day, what they're grateful for. It can be that place to vent emotions. It's also a place where you can transform your thoughts. So if you're having, for example, some persistent worries, you can kind of get them out and start writing towards what you're hoping for. For example, if maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed or discouraged, you can go to your journal and write about what brings you hope. You can write about what brings you joy. And as you focus your attention in your journaling on the feelings that you want, what we focus on grows. And you can use your journal as a powerful companion to really manifest the goals and hopes and feelings and experiences that you want in your life. I always think of journaling as not just something where we sit and think about our thoughts and feelings and write them down. It is that. It's a place we can gain self-awareness. But it's also a place where once we have that awareness, we can take action. So for example, years ago, when I was working as a frontline social worker in my early career, I was working in a hospital, in an ICU, an emergency department, doing lots of crisis response work. And I really loved that work. But I kept noticing in my journal, I kept writing about wanting to start my own business. I wanted to start a training and coaching business. And it kept appearing on the page over and over again. And finally, I thought, well, I need to take action on this. There's what's really true for me on the page. And how can I go from having that awareness in my journal to actually doing something about it? And so I left that job at the hospital. I moved to an island where I live now and have lived for 22 years. And I started my own business, and I've been self-employed ever since. And that all came from journaling. I might not have seen that that was a desire so honestly and so frequently if I wasn't capturing it in my journal. And then, of course, we have the courage then to take action on that awareness that comes. And even though journaling's for ourselves, It's for you. It's your own private place to explore your thoughts and feelings. It also connects us in the world. It helps you understand yourself in relation to your family, your friends, the world that we're living in. And so it's always about more than just us. And it's why it's a powerful tool as emerging leaders, because part of being a great leader is really being able to know yourself and to bring out the best in yourselves and also help bring out the best in others. And journal writing is something that helps you keep meeting the best parts of yourself. It helps you to keep seeing, here's my strengths, here's the things I think about, here's the things I care about, and allowing that to really be central in what you do and how you influence other people as well. So I want to give us a chance to go to the page. This is just a quick warm up. Now that you've heard a bit more about journaling and thinking about it from your own experience, what I'd like you to do for now is just have your pen nearby. And we're going to do a quick 1-minute timed writing. Journaling is a physical act. It can be an emotional act. So we just want to warm up. But for now, I invite you just to either lower your gaze or close your eyes. And just invite you to be present in this one moment, on this one day. And just begin by noticing your breath as it enters and leaves your body, giving you life. Just sitting, breathing in and breathing out. Being here now, there's no place to go, there's nothing to do, but allow yourself to be aware of the here and now, this one moment. And coming back to awareness of your breath, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes or raise your gaze, pick up your pen. And I'd like you to pick very simply from one of these two prompts. So just write it down on the page. Right now, I notice. Or right now, I feel. Just write that down, and I'm going to set a timer for 1 minute. Just keep your pen moving, responding to that prompt. There's no right or wrong. Enjoy. Just 10 more seconds. Let's finish off the sentence you're on. You can always come back to this later. You're just warming up. Okay. You can set your pen down, rub your hands together, maybe stretch your wrists a little bit. It's good to engage in self-care as we write. We can, of course, use journaling for our self-care, and we can care for ourselves as we journal. So we're just going to leave that. We're going to do a longer writing in just a minute. Just notice what that was like, going to the page, and you're welcome to use the chat. I know some of you are in groups, but if you have any questions along the way, feel welcome to put them in the chat. Just want to briefly share with you the writing and wellness connection. There's actually been a lot of research done on the healing benefits, mindfulness benefits of journaling. And there's books like Writing to Heal, The Writing Cure. There's been lots of different studies done. And I just want to share this with you so that you know that when you take time to journal, whether it's 5 minutes or longer, whether you do it every day or once in a while, that you're doing something to support your health, including your mental health and your resilience. And some of the research studies have showed these sorts of benefits that you can see here on the slide. So there's emotional benefits. You can feel more calm, less stress. Relationships can improve. There's physical benefits. There's studies that have shown people have had reduced blood pressure and a better improved immune functioning from taking time to write about their thoughts and feelings. People get better rest. They're more able to relax and settle their minds. Psychologically, people feel more clarity. You can gain self-awareness. You can make decisions easier and have improved cognitive functioning. So how you think, how you process information can be supported through having a regular journaling practice. And spiritually, that sense of meaning, how you feel connected to the life you're living, to your dreams, to what matters to you, it can really infuse you with energy and vitality, a real sense of purpose and meaning. And single journaling moments may not do that, but doing it over time can bring you these sorts of benefits. And I invite you to think for yourself, what if you're already a journal writer, what do you get out of it? And if you're not a journal writer and you're curious about how it can help you as a leader, how it can help you with your health and your goals, to really think for yourself, what might you like to get out of it? So for example, if you look at some of these proven benefits on this slide, what might be important to you? What would you like to get out of journaling? So for example, setting intention when you go to the page, whether it's for the type of day you want to have, today I'd like to feel happy and energized, whether it's getting clarity on goals you have, you can really use your journal to activate all of those intentions that you have just by holding them in your own mind and being when you go to the page. So we're going to do some more writing. And I'm just going to introduce you to life source writing. And that we're just going to experience it by doing it. But it's 5 steps. It's a way to enter your journaling, a way to go into it, and then a way to wrap it up in a meaningful way. And so we'll just go through these 5 steps by doing them, and I'll guide you through them. And we're going to start with just arriving and relaxing, building on that idea of connecting to the breath, building on being mindfully present in the moment, and letting our writing start there. So once again, if you feel comfortable lowering your gaze or closing your eyes or just focusing your attention inward, I'm just going to take a mindful moment before we write. When we're relaxed, we're more able to write. When we write, it can help us relax. And just bring your attention to your breath. Just notice your breath entering and leaving your body, giving you life. Just letting your breath breathe you. Just breathing in and breathing out. Just notice the chair beneath you, the surface that's holding you. Just let your physical weight drop a little more fully into that surface. Just notice what it feels like to be supported by the chair beneath you. Knowing that support is always available to you. From within, from around you. Just come back to awareness of your breath. Just breathing in whatever you most need in this moment. Maybe it's energy, calm, inspiration. And just breathe out anything you might like to let go of or release. Maybe just breathing out any stress or tension, anything you want to let go of in this moment. Just let your breath carry that away on the out breath. Just notice what it feels like to let go and release. And come back to awareness of your breath. And when you're ready, from this grounded and centered, mindful and present energy, open your eyes, raise your gaze, pick up your pen. And here's some prompts to pick from. Just pick one, whatever one speaks to you right now. We're going to do a longer writing. One of my goals in the next year is. One of my goals in the next 5 years is I feel happiest and at peace when. To me, success is. So just pick one of those prompts, whichever one you feel drawn to, write it down and see where it takes you. And we're going to do a 2-minute timed writing on this one. And then I'm going to give you another prompt. Just finish up the sentence that you're on. It's okay if it's not complete, you can always come back to it. And now what I'd like you to do, please, is just take a quick read over what you wrote and pick from one of these 2 prompts. This is a reflection where you can write after you've done some writing, just to see what's there. What I notice about what I wrote is, or what I feel about what I wrote is. Just pick one of those prompts and journal for another minute and see what comes. Just another 10 seconds. Just finish up the sentence that you're on. Okay, and I invite you just to set down your pen. You can always come back to all of these. And the last step of life source writing is to just take a moment to acknowledge what you just did, to affirm the time you just took to journal and reflect, and to infuse that with some energy of appreciation, just part of our mindfulness practice. You might say something quietly to yourself, like, I'm grateful for this time to write and reflect. Anything at all that brings that sense of completion and positive energy to what you just did. Okay. I hope you enjoyed those experiences of going to the page. You can think about what that was like for you. I know not everyone can use the chat, but if you're able to, just what it was like for you to do the journaling activity. You can just use one word. It might have been fun, enlightening, easy, challenging. And I'm just going to offer a couple more things in our very quick time together. Thanks, Mrs. Ruffalo. Insightful. B offers calming. Isa said relaxing, or Isa. Eye-opening. Thanks, Julian. Brianna said very calming. Nice. You can see that even short journaling times. So you were writing there for about 4 minutes, and you wrote before for a couple minutes. That taking those few minutes to go to the page can impact your emotional state, can bring about that sense of calm, relaxation, something that you can do between classes, on a lunch break. You can do it in the morning to start your day. You can do it at the end of the day, even taking a few minutes before going to sleep to write about what you're grateful for from your day or what you're proud of from your day can really be powerful practices for your well-being and your growth. As emerging leaders, I always think if there's one thing we can remember about being leaders, that's sort of our guiding principle. For me, it's always the idea that leadership is really about bringing out the best in ourselves and bringing out the best in others. Leadership is always about people. It's always about being self-aware so that we can bring out the best in ourselves. And any practice we have, like journaling, meditation, positive conversations that are reflective, these things all help us to grow our self-awareness, to really know who you are and what matters to you. There's a wonderful quote by Deepak Chopra, and he says that attention energizes us and intention transforms. So anytime you bring your intention to something, including writing in your journal or a conversation or a goal you have, you're already bringing forward that energy of transformation and positivity into what you're doing. And our success is always, I've learned over the years, there's lots of things that support our success in reaching our goals, but one of them is having a very clear intention. It's like getting in a car and going on a trip. If you know where you're going, there's a greater chance you're going to get there. And so really having that sense of clarity in yourself around what are your goals, and they can be small things. A goal can be to have a great day. A goal can be to do well on an exam. A goal can be to help somebody else who's in need. You can infuse your days with your goals. And as you practice that, your success grows and your leadership grows. And people see that. They see when people are living with that sense of orientation towards their goals and what matters. And with journaling, sometimes there can be that tendency to kind of just dump all the stressful things out on the page, but you can also let your joy live there. You can let what you want more of to fill the page. So if you want to feel more happiness, write about what makes you happy. And of course, do those things. You can really impact your mood and well-being and success through journaling. And I love this quote. It says, there's a Spanish proverb which says, there is no road. We make the road as we walk. I would say the same thing about journaling. We make the path as we write. So I really wish you well as you make your path as emerging leaders, and in these times that we're living in, may journaling be a comfort and a support to you. And I have this free gratitude journaling gift filled with gratitude journaling prompts. If you're interested, you can see the link there. And if you'd like, you can sign up for it. It comes as an immediate download. And it also subscribes you to my journaling newsletter, which is a weekly newsletter I send out filled with journaling prompts and tips to really support you to go to the page. So I hope that's useful to you. And we have a new book coming out in June called The Great Book of Journaling. It's available on Amazon. And mostly, I really hope that journaling can support your self-care and success today and tomorrow and the next day and in the months and years ahead. Thank you for having me as your presenter, and I wish each of you well. And if you have any questions, feel welcome to put them in the chat. And I know we have to wrap up and respect the timing of our time together. So thank you for being here, and happy journaling, everybody.